My name is Glenn.
Hello, good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Whichever it is, I don't really care. What I do care about is that you're watching Movie Madness, a web show that deals with absolutely nothing other than movies. How long did it take you to figure that one out?
Do you even have a soul?
My name is Jason Boyce, and I will be the host of this ridiculous web show for however long I please. Yes, that is correct. Get over it.
Wow.
Are you watching closely?
Okay, today on this segment of Summer Previews, we're going to go ahead and talk about 3 films in particular. First off is going to be my review of Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. Then we're going to go ahead and take a look at 2 trailers for films coming out this weekend, which will be Marmaduke and Get 'Em to the Greek. And we're going to go ahead and analyze the trailers and depict whether we, the audience, should go ahead and see these films or not. But in the end, it's only my opinion.
It's time.
That is correct, Mr. Assassin. It is time. Time to finally review this movie once and for all. Now the question on everybody's minds is, was this a good movie and should I go see it? In the long run, compared to other video game adaptations, I have to say Prince of Persia was probably the best one that I've seen personally. Not to say that this film is a perfect or spectacular film, because it's not. It is a enjoyable action-adventure with some good visual effects for the most part, and pretty good performances from the cast, even though that there has been some dispute about, this film and even The Last Airbender getting ready to come out in July being whitewashed by Hollywood. But overall, I thought the cast did a good job with their parts. The direction seemed a little flawed. There were some plot holes from the script that I noticed, and it didn't follow the video game's story completely. But in the long run, it did present a good chance and an opportunity to start a franchise with this film, like Disney's hoping to do. I mean, they've even gone off and said that they're hoping this is going to be their next Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. But considering how the film has started off in the box office run, it would need to pick up things in order to get that opportunity to make more sequels. Now, with how this movie was overall, it was a fun action-adventure film. If you're into that kind of a thing, yeah, go see this movie. It's definitely worth the money, I think. But the one thing that kind of killed the movie a little bit for me, not necessarily that it killed it, but just kind of lowered my standards for it, was the attempt at comedy. You can definitely tell that Disney had their hand in this movie. Alfred Molina's character was meant to be the comic relief, which he was funny at times, but sometimes with the one-liners that he'd throw in, you would laugh, but you wouldn't be laughing at the joke. You'd be laughing at the attempt of being funny altogether. The story also did have its plot holes. Like I said, it wasn't exactly like the video game story, which did it made it suffer just a little bit. But the ending also, you kind of saw how it was going to end, but you still were kind of surprised when it did end that way, I guess. When all is said and done, this film reaches the ranks of all the films that have been released this summer so far. They're enjoyable and they're entertaining, but they don't reach that goal of becoming a great, awesome movie, which isn't a problem. If you're into the action-adventure genre, yes, this is like Robin Hood in a way of just fulfilling that need to see something fun and adventurous. Go ahead, see this. It's definitely worth it. But my overall consensus for this film...
Not so bad.
Alright, for those of you that were hoping to get a trailer review for Marmaduke, I'm sorry, but it seems that 20th Century Fox doesn't want anybody publicizing for their film. I had a review ready and it was set up, but once I put the video up on YouTube to show to the public, apparently 20th Century Fox took the video down because of the content shown for Marmaduke. So I apologize if you were looking forward to this, but we're just going to have to go ahead and just forget about this film. And hopefully this doesn't become a problem in the future, especially for next week when we go ahead and review the trailer for the A-Team.
Salamander! Salamander!
Ignore. He has issues.
The music business is failing. I need some brilliant ideas right now.
2 words. Mexican Jonas Brothers.
Don't talk. How about ringtones on urinals? I call them flush tones.
This is serious out here. I got 6 kids. You know how many Air Jordan 6 black kids wear?
I don't know, and I honestly don't want to know. Get 'Em to the Greek is actually a spin-off to the film Forgetting Sarah Marshall. It reunites Jonah Hill and Russell Brand as the stars, except Jonah Hill's character is actually a completely different character than he was in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and it also reunites the director of Forgetting Sarah Marshall as well. Now, Judd Apatow is also going to be producing this film. Now, he's been doing a lot of things with Jonah Hill and Michael Cera ever since Superbad, and he's continuing to keep a streak of pretty much hardcore rated R comedies that are being released. And this one isn't going to be really any different than probably Forgetting Sarah Marshall and Superbad, but the thing is, this genre is starting to die, and you could see it even with the box office numbers after last year's release of Funny People. It's just that we've seen this kind of a character from Jonah Hill again and again. Now, Russell Brand, we've seen it once, and we liked it, so that's probably going to win over some of the audience, but Jonah Hill, I mean, the last thing I saw him in that I was actually kind of drawn to, even though his part was completely really small, was actually Night at the Museum 2. Just seeing him pop up in there, it was hilarious, and most people kept saying that was probably their favorite part of the film because the film itself wasn't, that great overall. But this film, after looking at it, I mean, you can see it's going to have its funny moments with its gags and a bunch of funny dialogue, but it's going to be that kind of character that Jonah Hill has always been. Kind of a weak, pathetic guy trying to get his way into the world and build himself up, and he has to do something crazy and go on this adventure, and then he's going to have to do certain things, and then it's going to have sex, and it's going to have drugs, and it's going to have alcohol, and it's going to have all these sick things that are going on, just like any other kind of rated R comedy. But the thing is, a lot of people are still going to be drawn to it and going to go see it, but after all is said and done, will it be good? We'll just have to wait and see, I guess.
Hey, good morning.
What time is it?
5 a.m. Should we go jogging?
Are you kidding around?
Well, I don't think that date could have gone any worse.
Now, there will be 2 other films released this weekend, and one of them is the Guillermo del Toro produced film Splice, starring Adrian Brody, and it is a sci-fi thriller horror film that, according to early reviews for this film, is just as scary and disgusting as it appears.
What was that?
A mistake.
Splice will be rated R for disturbing elements such as sexuality, nudity, sci-fi violence, and strong language.
Surprise! I'm back! Stop hurting him!
The other film coming out this Friday is the Katherine Heigl, Ashton Kutcher team-up film called Killers. This is an action comedy film, and it will be rated PG-13 for action violence, sexual material, and language.
Yes, words are useless. Too much of it, darling, too much.
Alright, that about wraps everything up for us on this segment of Movie Madness Summer Previews. Join us next week as we keep taking a look into the month of June, as we'll be looking at 2 highly anticipated film releases of the summer, with The A-Team, based off the 1980s popular TV series, starring Liam Neeson, Bradley Cooper, Rampage Jackson, Sharlto Copley, and Jessica Biel. This film will be rated PG-13, and also the remake of The Karate Kid, starring Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan. This film will be rated PG.
And you know Christ was a Jew?
9 o'clock on a Saturday, the regular crowd shuffles in.